Hello, welcome to Pike Creek Farm. My name is Renee, and if this is your first time here, thank you so much for joining me. I like to do videos on canning and baking and vintage recipes. I'm in the thumb of Michigan. The thumb. I always forget which way shows it the way Michigan is. I think this way does. And I like to do videos about just life here, and at this stage of life, I'm semi-retired and trying to figure out how to be thrifty and thrive and, all the changes. So if that interests you, come on along. I'd love to have you here. Today is a canning recipe. I'm going to can beans, navy beans. These I just got at Walmart. Usually I get them locally, and they were out. But these probably came from local because the thumb of Michigan produces so many of the navy beans. So we're going to do navy beans in a tomato sauce, a vegetarian version. There's going to be no chicken broth or anything, no meat in it at all. I'm trying to replicate like the Heinz baked beans over in England. My daughter loves those, and they're like in a tomato sauce. She describes it like tomato soup, and they're really good on just as a side dish, but they're good on top of a baked potato with some cheese. Really good. And we just enjoy them. She particularly, especially when she went to England last year, she just really said, I know why everyone likes them now. I'm going to do this. I have a lot of beans here. I'm not going to do them all as the tomato ones. I'm going to do a molasses bean. I might do some ham and bean soup. And I've been looking at the Boston baked bean recipe, and there's some other ones. We're going to experiment with navy beans, and this is the first video. So what I have to do first is open up these packages and rinse them and make sure there's no icky looking beans or stones in there, and then I'll put them on to cook. So I'm going to go open up, I need about 2.5 pounds. I'm going to do that, and then I will bring you back. I got my colander in the sink. And now I'm going to put 2.5 bags in here. That one looks a little funny. So that goes on the other side. That's how much we're going to work with. Rinse them. Okay, here's another one that, doesn't look nice. Gonna rinse these off, pick out any that are just don't look good to me. The color is off. There's some dirt on these actually. Wow, that's surprising. But we are getting that off. Okay, these are all sorted through. I'm going to get a pan out. Look at, I'm still finding I'm being pretty particular, I guess. But that's part of the good part about canning, is that you can control the quality. I'm going to fill this almost all the way up. So I looked it up. It's 2 minutes that we need to bring it to a boil to. So it's going to take some time. And then when it comes up to a boil, I'll set my timer. Then we just turn it off and set your timer for an hour. It has to sit for at least an hour. Then we are going to drain it using our colander and then put fresh water in and bring it back up to a boil. And that liquid, that the second time, we're going to use some of that for our cooking, our actual sauce that we're going to process. Got my jars in the dishwasher. Got my rings that I'm going to wash. Got my 4-jar canning lids. I'm going to wash them, and then they go into a little saucepan. 4 jars recommends that we heat up the lids. So Ball does not, but 4 jars does. And if you need canning lids, I do have a discount code down below where you can save 10%. Works out pretty nice. I switched to a bigger pot, a really big one, but it is at a boil. I'm going to set my timer for 2 minutes. I have 20 minutes left. So I'm going to start getting just things set up. I grabbed out some of my tools. This I use to get the lids out of the pan, out of the water. This is my debubbler, and also when I measure my headspace for the jars. I got the ketchup out. I bought a big one in case I want to make a lot more of this. And there is another version of this that uses tomato sauce and different spices and onions. I might try that version too. This was the easy version, and my daughter said to try this one. The sauce is 1 cup of tomato ketchup with 3 cups of the next cooking liquid. So once I dump this, I'm going to use the first pan, which was too small for the beans. 1 cup measuring cup. I'm going to put it inside here in case any splashes. And I might have to make more. I mean, according to what they say, this is the correct amount for the amount of beans that I am using. So we will dump that into the pot. And then all I need to do is add the 3 cups of cooking liquid. And the beans are soaking up a lot of the water, because it was quite a bit above the beans before. I'm ready to drain those beans when the timer goes off and put them back in with fresh water, and we just have to bring them up to a boil. These will not be cooked beans. They're still going to be hard. You wouldn't want to eat them at this stage. I emptied the beans into the colander, and now I am going to add water, cover them up, and bring them to a boil. Then we'll add the water to the sauce and we'll get to jarring them up. We are boiling, so I'm going to take this off the burner and take out 3 cups of the water, and we can start jarring up. Okay, so ketchup is in here. Here is 3 cups of liquid. Okay, it tastes kind of like tomato soup. I think she'll be happy. I am going to double it. I've decided, looking at it, I'd rather have too much sauce. I have more beans. So another cup. And I'm going to get some more of the water, cooking liquid. I just feel better knowing I have enough. Just trying to get it all incorporated. There we go. I'm going to drain these beans now and put them into, then it'll be easier to scoop into the jars. And here's the beans. And they're firm. You wouldn't want to eat them yet. I had my jars with hot water in them. I washed them in the dishwasher first, and they were still warm from there, and then I added hot water. Now the National Center says to fill it with beans 3/4 full. I usually go slightly under 3/4. I have better luck with that, with less siphoning. And these beans are going to absorb so much liquid after they're processed and on the shelf, that I like to have it a little under the 3/4 from personal experience to make sure they're still saucy. About like that. Do the second jar. I checked my canner, made sure that the lid is okay, that the seal is good. There we go. Okay, now I'm going to move. Got the sauce over here, and we want it to go to the 1 inch. Give a stir to debubble. There can be air pockets, and then adjust your liquid if you need. Got a little much. Now we wipe the rim. Put your 4-jar lid on. Ring, finger tight. When it stops turning, stop. And this is ready to go in the canner. Let's do this jar. Perfect. Wipe. This tool was my mom's from when she canned, back when you had to heat up all your lids. I'm going to keep filling the jars, and I will bring you back when I'm ready to turn the canner on. 10 pints in there. I had enough beans to do one more jar, and I had to make a little extra sauce. It was like enough for half. It is steaming like a freight train. Set the timer for 10 minutes, and then I will put the jiggler on, the weighted gauge. And here I go, putting that on after 10 minutes, and now we wait for it to jiggle. Took the lid off, and they are bubbling away. I'm going to wait a few minutes to put them out on the mat on the counter. Always put something under your jars. Got the first ones out. And there's a little color to the water, but not much. And man, they're sealing. They're already looking sealed. Woohoo! So let's, there they are. Don't those look good? And see what I mean? How the beans swell up? So, I mean, you could even do a little less than what I was doing if you want them saucier. But they will be saucy. Here they all are. And see, there is some sauce on the ones that I kept under the 3/4. You can see it on the top. The sun is... These, it's up underneath. I'm going to let these sit overnight. Tomorrow I'll take the rings off and wash them and label them. And 10 jars down in the pantry. They're all looking sealed at this point, so that's exciting to have this going downstairs. And it's frugal. Those beans were under $2 a bag, so I used 2.5 bags. The ketchup was very inexpensive. I used the store brand. So I got 10 jars. Let's say I have $4 invested. That's pretty good. Thank you for joining me today and coming along canning. We'll see you next time at Pike Creek Farm.